Yes, we're going to start. So I'd like to thank everyone for attending the Committee of Adjustment meeting. I'd like to remind everyone as we get underway that this meeting is in person and online through Zoom and is being recorded. Everyone online will be muted with the exception of committee members and staff. All comments and questions are to be directed through the chair for committee members, staff, and public. I'd like to remind the committee members that you must speak into your microphone so that everyone online and in person can hear you. For those attendees that are online, your video picture will not be displayed. You will be muted and will not be able to unmute yourself during an application that you have not requested to attend unless you raise your hand. At the beginning of each application, I will call the applicant forward. The owner or applicant in attendance may come to the table to their right to speak with the committee. This microphone is live and you must speak into the microphone. If the owner or applicant is online, you will be unmuted. Committee will ask for comments from the public during each application. Please provide your name and address for the public record. All comments and questions should be directed to the chair and only speak when it's your turn. If you are in person and would like to speak to an application one at a time, you may approach the podium and speak. This microphone will be live. If you're on the video portion of the Zoom meeting and would like to speak and your microphone is muted, please click on the raise hand button located on the bottom of your screen. Excuse me. Staff will notify me that you wish to speak. If you're attending by telephone and you wish to speak, please dial *9 to raise your hand, which will signal staff that you wish to speak. Once a decision has been made concerning your application, you're welcome to leave the hearing while the committee continues with the next application. The members in attendance today are Catherine Graham, Bruce Craig, Paul Veenstra, Todd Robertson, and myself, Jim Keel. Our staff in attendance are Senior Planner Lindsay Lambert, Planner Kyle Peel, Secretary Treasurer Amanda Werner McKellar, and planning student Nick Carter. Okay, first item on the agenda today is the adoption of the agenda. Any committee members have any changes they wish to make? Catherine?
None.
None here.
Nope.
No, sir.
Nor do I. So I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Paul. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Paul, and the agenda be adopted as circulated. All in favor?
Yes.
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 I am also carried. The second item on the agenda is the adoption of the minutes from our meeting in May 27th, 2025. Any committee members have any changes or suggestions?
None.
None here.
Nope.
No, sir.
Nor do I. So once again, we need a mover and a seconder.
I'll move.
Moved by Bruce, seconded by Todd. That the minutes of the May 27th, 2025 meeting of the hearing of the Committee of Adjustment be adopted as circulated. All in favor?
Yes.
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 And I am also carried. Is there anyone with a declaration of interest, pecuniary or otherwise, with any of our ones before us today?
I have none.
I have none.
Nope.
None here.
Nor do I. Okay. So the first application today is D13-2025-020-160 Big Stave Island. Amanda, would you give us your take?
Yes, and we have the owners online. So the application is requesting a permission to expand the floor area and height of the existing legal non-complying sleeping cabin located at the property municipally known as 160-192 Big Stave Island. The existing sleeping cabin is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of the St. Lawrence River and the minimum 30-meter front yard provision of the island residential zone. The existing 33.5 square meter single-story sleeping cabin is proposed to be demolished and replaced with a 35.5 square meter two-story sleeping cabin. The new expanded 35.5 square meter sleeping cabin is proposed to include an 11.8 square meter attached covered porch. The height of the structure is proposed to increase from 4.5 meters to 6.3 meters. The property is currently developed with a single detached dwelling, an accessory structure, a storage shed, and a sleeping cabin, which is proposed to be replaced through this application.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. Kyle, would you like to give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you.
So as noted, this application is requesting a permission to expand the floor area and height of the existing legal non-complying sleeping cabin. For the subject proposal, prior to the submission of a formal application, the CRCA completed a site visit to confirm the location of the flooding and erosion hazards on the property. And as a result of that visit, the proposed rebuilt structure is going to be slightly relocated at a setback 0.5 meters further back from the high water mark. Overall, the expansion of the structure is modest, adding only 2 square meters of floor area and 1.7 meters of height, and the proposed development is to encroach no further into the setback than existing. Further, the application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township. As such, planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Thank you. Amanda, any public comments you've received?
We received the comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections, and we have not received any further written comments.
Thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone in the audience or online that wishes to speak to this application?
There is no public online and no one in the audience looking to speak to the application.
Okay, committee members, any questions? I'll start with Catherine. I don't know, somebody here to address them to, or are they online?
Yes, the owners are online if you have questions.
I have no questions or concerns.
Bruce?
I have no questions or concerns, and I'm glad to see this move back slightly. Obviously, it can't move back too far because of the rock ledge, but no, I have no issues.
Paul?
Yeah, no concerns here.
Todd?
No concerns. I see this as Kyle said, meeting the true nature of a minor variance.
Okay, thank you. I have no issues with it either, so. Is there someone like to make a motion? Catherine and Todd? Moved by Catherine, seconded by Todd, that application D13 2025 020 be approved, subject to conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee. All in favor?
Catherine, yes?
Bruce, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
And I am also carried. So,
Okay. Thank you, Andy and Tony. I will just mute your microphones now.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
it's really rolled in. What do we go ahead with it and then we're going?
And just for the public record, the application for D13 2025-021, the public meeting portion has been canceled for today. So we're going to proceed to the next application.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. The next application today is D13 2025 022 97 Dulcimane Road. Amanda, would you like to bring us up to?
Yes, and we have the agent is on, or the applicant is online with us. If you have any questions. So the application is requesting zoning relief from the township zoning bylaw to reduce the minimum setback provision from a kennel from 300 meters to 100 meters. The kennel is proposed for personal, non-commercial use only. The applicants are proposing a fenced area to serve as the outdoor portion for the personal kennel.
Okay, Lindsay, would you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So as noted, this is a minor variance application for 97 Dulcimane Road, and the application seeking zoning relief from the minimum setback for a kennel from a sensitive land use, and that relief is from 300 meters to a minimum of 100 meters. The closest sensitive land use to the property is indicating no concern.
That audio's off. Jacqueline, can you hear us?
Yes, just got you back. I didn't hear you for a while there.
Nope, that's okay. That was our glitch in the system. So we've got it up and running now. Thank you
Okay,
for your
good stuff.
patience. Okay, so we can continue. Lindsay was in the middle of her comments. We'll put her back to her. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you, Chair, and through you. Just to repeat my previous comment before the meeting ran into those technical issues, the CRCA had provided comments indicating no concerns with the application from a natural hazards policy and regulatory perspective. The conditions that staff are recommending as part of our recommended approval of the application is limiting this kennel to being non-commercial kennel only of up to 5 dogs, a requirement that the kennel is compliant with Township Bylaw 2025-015, which is a bylaw for the licensing of dogs and prohibiting the running at large of dogs within the township, including maintaining a valid kennel license at all times for the dogs, and that all 5 dogs have a valid township dog tag, and that the permitted off-leash area for the dogs on the property is limited to the fenced area as noted on the plot plan. In summary, staff recommend approval of the application in accordance with the details and conditions included in the staff report. And if the committee has any questions with respect to any public input received on this application, we'd be happy to provide responses to them. Thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay. Amanda, any other public comments?
Yes, we received comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections. And then right before the hearing, we received comments from David and Amy Eaton, neighbors, which raised concerns with noise, safety concerns, the possibility of property value decreasing, and suspecting that the property is being rented, and wondered how long the kennel will be active for. And so these comments were provided to the committee members by paper because we didn't have enough time to post online. Thanks. That's all the written comments we've received.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone in the public in attendance or online that wishes to speak to this application?
There is no one online and no one in the public looking to speak to the application.
Committee members, I'll start with you, Catherine. Any questions for the applicant?
I have a question directed to staff. There's reference in the material that we just received for the meeting about noise. In terms of the township's noise abatement control bylaw, is there anything that would affect the potential of excessive noise from this?
Thank you, and through you, Chair. So the township, as part of its noise bylaw, does include a provision that prohibits the excessive barking of dogs on properties, and that would apply across the board throughout the township, whether it be a single dog on a single detached residential property or a kennel. And through the administrative penalties bylaw, there are fines that the township can administer as part of any violations that our bylaw officer reviews in response to complaints.
Thank you. I will inform my own dogs immediately after the meeting. I have no other questions or concerns.
I had similar questions as Catherine. I know that the dogs where they're going to be located is up the hill and to the back of the property. So to me, it's going to be quite a distance away from neighbors. But I'm just curious about the kennel license and if there is noise from it, and also kennel license renewal time, if there's a possibility of it not being renewed if there are numerous complaints about noise. So I'm just wondering if planner would like to comment on that.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. So this is a separate application under the Planning Act for a variance. So should the committee approve the application, it grants the relief that's being requested. I note that the distance is from the actual dwelling to the north property line as opposed to the dwelling on 96 Dulcimane. So that gives a bit of a context in terms of the distance as well. In terms of the kennel bylaw, provided that the applicant and owner is operating in accordance with the approved minor variance and the requirements of our kennel licensing process, then the kennel license would be eligible for renewal. And like I said, noise complaints would be subject to review and complaint to our bylaw officer, and there are penalties involved should that become an issue. And I note that with the submission documents that the applicant provided, they have noted in their cover letter that the dogs are not left unattended within the outdoor area at any time. That's all that staff have at this time. Thanks.
Thank you, Lindsay. Just curious how the application came before us, if the applicant came in voluntarily or whether, or how it came about, because I'm just curious.
Thank you. And through you, Chair, the prospective purchaser proactively contacted staff with the information that they have currently 5 personal dogs and wondered about the implications and wanting to do, indicating that they wanted to do everything appropriately and in conformance with the township requirements. And staff identified the variance as being a requirement as well as the kennel license. The prospective purchaser approached the current owner and arranged for the complete application to come forward to staff, and staff are bringing it forward to the committee for consideration.
Thank you. I like that. And so it's nice to see that the applicant wanted to do things the right way. So hopefully that goes a long way. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I had concerns as well about the noise, but Lindsay addressed it, so I'm fine. Thank you.
Absolutely no concerns. Thanks.
Okay, I'm a property owner on the road and I have livestock, so I have a question. First off, what type of dogs are these? Can she hear me there?
Yes, I can hear you. I just wasn't sure if I was supposed to speak now or not.
Oh, yeah.
We have 4 Great Danes and we have 1 mixed breed dog.
Okay, well, you'll never have any problem with me. I own the farm on the south side to the west. And as long as them dogs stay north of the Dulcimane Road, you'll have no trouble with me. But we do have livestock. And actually a previous owner on that property many years ago had Great Danes and we had problem with them. But you keep them home and I have no issues.
They will not be running around loose. They'll either be on their leashes or in their fenced area.
Okay, that's fine. Nope. But I have no other questions for you. So, we can move over. Catherine, Todd. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Todd. That application D13-2025-022 be approved, subject to conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee. Ready to vote?
Catherine, yes.
Bruce, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I am also, and we're carried, and welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Okay, last but not least today is D13-2025-023 129 Railway Street. So Amanda, would you read the application, please?
Yes. 1 second, sorry. Okay. So we do have the owner in attendance if you have questions. The application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with an attached and elevated covered deck and a screened porch. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of an adjacent watercourse. The area of proposed development is currently partially developed with attached uncovered decking, which is proposed to be demolished and replaced with an 18.6 square meter attached uncovered deck and a 29.73 square meter screened porch. The proposed permission is for an expansion of the footprint and floor area. The property is currently developed with a single detached dwelling and accessory structure, storage shed, and the storage shed is proposed to be demolished. An accessory structure garage is proposed to be constructed outside of the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of the watercourse and does not require Committee of Adjustment approval.
Okay, Kyle, would you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So as noted, this application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-compliant dwelling with an attached and elevated uncovered deck and screen porch. The watercourses on the subject property run along the north and west lot lines, with the closest being the northern watercourse. Further, the property features an existing attached uncovered deck, which is proposed to be removed and replaced with the screened-in room and the uncovered deck. The proposed development will encroach no closer to the high water mark than existing, and the maximum permitted lot coverage will not be exceeded with the addition of the proposed screened-in room. The CRCF submitted comments noting no concerns based on their consideration of natural hazards and regulatory policy. To conclude, the application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policy tests and the policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township. As such, planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. Amanda, any other public comments?
Yes, we received comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections. And we also received comments from Robert Nash, a neighbor, with no objections.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone in the audience or online that wishes to speak to this application?
We have no one online and no one in the audience looking to speak to the application.
Committee members, any question to the applicant? I believe that's you? You're the, yes, he's right here. Good. Yeah, there you go, Catherine.
We talked the other day. I have no questions or concerns.
Bruce?
I also have no questions or concerns.
Yeah, nothing here.
Oh,
No, nothing here as well.
me neither. So you're getting an easy out. Okay. I need a mover and a seconder to move this along. Moved by Paul, seconded by Bruce. Application D13 2025 023 be approved, subject to conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee. All in favor?
Catherine, yes?
Bruce, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And I am also carried.
Thank you.
I would like to ask that the permit be set up processing before the day of the hearing.
Sorry, if you can just come to the microphone. We can't hear it otherwise through the thing. Yeah.
I would just like to ask that the permit be set for processing before the 20-day appeal period, if we could.
Yeah, so you've already submitted the application, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So if you want to follow up with an email, do you know which inspector has been assigned to your file?
Paul, I believe.
Okay. Paul is away the rest of this week. So if you want to send an email to me,
Okay.
I will then arrange for that to be sent to the inspectors and our supervisor to
Okay.
see about that approval being
Super.
granted. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Other business.
Yes, the other business is the small accessory structures within 30 meters of the high water mark. And we are not prepared today to speak to it. We are sorry, we have been a little swamped, but we want to make sure we do this right. So if you're okay, we're just going to defer that discussion until July, but we should be ready then.
Okay, so need a mover to adjourn?
Could I ask a question about that
Yeah,
item?
go ahead, Todd.
Is it specific to high water mark, or are there broader implications than that?
I believe that's one of the things that we are reviewing because it is a larger scale because our high water mark doesn't just include the St. Lawrence or Charleston.
Right.
It is every water body and every water course. So there's a lot of things that staff have been discussing concerning it.
Okay.
Just because we want to, if we're going to do this, we want to do this right. So.
Correct. And that was where I was coming from is if we had a narrow scope this time, you wouldn't have to go back and redo the work, obviously. So the broader, the better, in my humble opinion. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, I had a question as well. Lot coverage, was that going to be brought up as well.
That-
The,
Like, are
basically-
you talking like overall lot coverage or
Well-
lot coverage just for accessory buildings within the 30-meter setback?
accessory buildings.
Yeah,
What
that
the-
is one of the things we have been discussing as well.
Oh, okay.
Looking at, you know, because our bylaw requires like a 4% for accessory structures, a 10% overall, but how much do we allow in the 30-meter setback? So,
Mhm. All right.
Anyone else? Okay. Have a motion to adjourn. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Paul, that we adjourn. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Paul, that the Committee of Adjustment will adjourn to meet again at the call of Amanda. All in favor?
Yes.
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 I'm also. Your luck, Carrie.